And Mr. Murray, just from the bottom of my heart, sir, thank you for everything that you've given me in my life. I just want to tell you how much an honor it is to be able to speak with you.
You grew up straight and tall, and you don't have to call me Mr. Murray anymore. You can call me Dr. Murray.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Mr. Murray, I'm going to start with you. I really think one of the beautiful reminders of this movie that it shares with us is this impact that our friends have on our lives, sometimes even when they're no longer with us. You have had the great pleasure of working alongside many of your friends over your career. I'd love to know, which one would you say maybe had the biggest influence over your work and maybe just who you are as a person?
Well, recently we had the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live, which was very emotional. When both Gilda Radner and John Belushi came on the screen, it really took me apart. I wept on both occasions. And those were two people that were incredibly supportive of me and urged me along and gave me confidence. And I knew that if I could make them laugh, I was going to be okay. And they encouraged me to keep trying to make them laugh. And I did eventually. And they helped me a lot. I miss them a lot. They were part of making who I am as an actor, a big part of it. And I owe them. So when I catch up with them, I'll remember to thank them again.
I rewatched the first season of SNL recently, and they're timeless. It's just as funny now as it was 50 years ago. It really is. For both of you, which is one of the reasons I love movies is this power that it has over our lives. When this movie ended, I gave my girl here, she's right there kind of behind me. I gave her a big hug, and then also immediately called my parents just to say, like, hey, heads up, if something happens to me, come get her, like make sure that she's okay. And I'm curious for each of you, have you ever been affected by a project that you've been a part of so much so that it caused you to make any kind of decision about your life, even if something as simple as maybe calling an old friend or hugging a dog?
Definitely. Movies get under your skin. This is, I can't remember, but more than a handful of times where I've been so deeply moved that you have to run to, whether it's the kids or your partner or your dog. Yeah.
Something, I mean, sometimes you come to work and you look at what you've got to do that day and you think of someone, and often I'll just call them. Unfortunately for them, it's 6:30 in the morning and I'm waking them up, and I just start talking to them just to hear their voice and just to have that feeling of being with them, because it's someone that is alive inside of you, like you say. And if you can sort of, revivify that a little bit before you go into work, you can bring it, you can show up with it and manifest it.
You're very good at that. Sometimes that I'm the recipient of that phone call, and it's a good solid 40 minutes. And it's a nice way to connect. I appreciate you, Bill.
Mr. Murray, we're not friends, but if you ever wanted to call me, I'd be happy to be the recipient of one of those phone calls one day. I'm here in Chicago. I'd be honored.
Okay, well, okay, and if you see me in Chicago and you're, and you need a little talking to, we can go over to the Billy Goat and have a cheeseburger or something.
Couple blocks away.
You're real close. I can see.
Yeah, you know exactly where I'm at.
Hey, there's a good pizza place. I think it's called Robert's Pizza. Have you ever been there?
I love Robert's Pizza. It's
what an
my
amazing place that is. And I never thought I'd ever go back to thin crust pizza, but that's amazing pizza. That might be the best pizza I've ever had.
I am going to bring that. I know, Robert. I'm going to bring that to him. My dog's getting excited to talk about it. Mr. Murray, I'm going to cut you guys loose on this.
Dogs love pizza crust. Tell the people at home. If you're like a chubby and you don't think you should eat all the crust, bring it home to your dog. Dogs go nuts.
She would do it. She would eat it. She comes with me. She loves it there. Mr. Murray, I host a show here in Chicago called The Moments That Made Us, where I look back on the greatest movie moments with the people that made them possible. One of the reasons I love film, that I have this job that I'm sitting here, is because I grew up on your work. And I've always wanted to ask you, and never gotten the chance, if you'll allow me the chance to geek out, I've always wanted to ask you about getting slimed by Slimer in the opening moments of Ghostbusters. And I just would love to know, sir, what you remember most about shooting that sequence, and maybe the direction you got from Mr. Reitman on that day.
Well, the direction is they don't, any director that's going to abuse you physically or emotionally doesn't give you any foreshadowing of that. They give you no clue about it. They're talking, just being friendly. And then the next thing that happened is you're covered with slime. So, or you're hit by a truck or something, you know, or you're kicked in the gut. But so I wasn't quite ready for how disgusting it really was going to be. And it was just business as usual. And the director acts like, "Hey, are we ready here? Come on. Yeah, hi, Michael. You like this? You like this shot? You like this thing?" Nothing about how disgusting you're going to feel in just a few seconds. Just a total misdirect, so that it may be to get a performance to make sure your performance is pure, but I think it's more like to avoid the possibility of like a reflexive right to the belly button or a left hand to the jaw. It's they don't tell you when it's going to be bad. I don't get it. They try to sneak up on you.
Well, we're the beneficiaries of that, as I am the beneficiary of this movie and this interview, guys. If you can't tell, your work in this film truly means a lot to me. Ms. Watts, always an honor to see you. And Mr. Murray, just from the bottom of my heart, sir, thank you for everything that you've given me in my life. I just want to tell you how much an honor it is to be able to speak with you.
You grew up straight and tall, and you don't have to call me Mr. Murray anymore. You can call me Dr. Murray.
Doc, an honor, sir. I appreciate you. Good to see you guys.
All the best.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.